Do you read what other people have written when signing a farewell card? Well, if you do, then you're in good company. Today, we'll be taking a closer look at the nuances of everyday interactions that make up the monotony of life. Let's listen to someone talking about how the sun in Europe doesn't burn your skin like it does in Australia. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket because it's time for two old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Christian, under the covers with Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
I forgot to say welcome to Patchwork.
That's okay.
And we often start these shows by talking about how long it's been between recording. I don't even think
How
it's
long
worth-
has it been?
It's got to be in almost 2 months.
Probably,
Yeah.
but no one cares.
No one cares because people don't. Some people would keep up to date with this.
Most people don't engage with their podcasts in a way that I think they would know how long it's been.
My partner just told me she thought that podcasts were more or less dead. She's like, I'm just off podcasts.
Yeah,
and I was like, thanks for telling me that.
They've never been more popular in the history of humanity, but I think they're falling off a bit.
Yeah, but more so the consumption of a podcast, right? Like, how many do you regularly go back to?
You know, the problem is podcast has evolved into the podcast clip.
Yes.
That's where we're at now.
Yeah.
So it's not about your hour-long podcast. It's about how many 25-second clips can you produce from that.
That's right. Yeah, so we need to get back to clipping. We need to spend more time on something that we can't even record in 2 months.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Or we do what that other thing is now where you record, like it's not an actual podcast. We're just recording clips.
Oh.
So we just have a bunch of things and we just try and do little 59-second things.
That's great.
Nah, it's hell.
No, but you actually don't really need content. You need just a funny interaction.
But it could just be like a wow of the week that you talk about for 48 more seconds.
Okay.
That's it.
So
That's the clip.
Yeah, we need heaps of content. Okay, that could be a clip.
Because the thing is, people don't have time for context and setup anymore. I hate it.
Context. Actually, you've said that there is a rule whereby if you fast forward the first third of a YouTube video, you can still get the main thrust of what's happening.
There's so much wasted. There's so much waste in the stuff we watch.
Yeah.
But it is a depressing state of affairs, I think, with these podcasts that it is just about the clippability. And I wonder how many people... You know what? I had recently actually a real example of the clips getting me to listen. I listened to it today.
Yeah.
Tom Bollard's... Tom, is it? I think
Ballard.
Ballard. Because his name...
He does look a bit like a bollard.
No, because his name is like the opposite to, so people can't find him on one of social medias. Anyway, so I keep getting confused.
Now everyone's going to find him.
Sorry.
Well done for doxing him.
But yeah, and it was his political podcast that he has. And I'd seen a few clips of it. And I was looking for you. I was like, yeah, I'll give that a go. And it drew me into the full show.
Oh,
and I listened to that today. I was like, that's what the clip should be. Not a show that is built around just making clips.
Okay, well, we're not going to start releasing clips.
With the auto switcher on. There we go.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay.
Well, for anyone watching on YouTube,
all three of you,
this is the opposite of clips. It's one stagnant shot of Josh and I sitting across from each other on the table. But Josh, we've been off for quite some time, as we always are now between episodes. Yep. In that time, you have performed a Fringe Festival show, a one-off Fringe Festival show, which was magnificent.
Thanks, mate. It was really fun.
I got to spend some time beforehand with, I guess, friends, colleagues of yours that you invited, and some that just turned up because they're good friends and colleagues.
Yeah.
One in particular, Yasmin, who I believe is a colleague of yours. She was
not
fantastic.
Friend. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, well, you told me to make that very clear. No, we got along very well.
Awesome.
She's great. Yeah. And we were talking about the fact that the show started quite late. It was like a 9:30 kickoff, right?
Yes.
And she mentioned that, well, after work I took a nap and now I'm feeling great. And I was like, aren't you exhausted after taking a nap? And she said, no, I'm really good at napping. For me, that's a shock to the system because a nap is ephemeral. Like a nap happens organically, and if I try to capture it, it's gone.
Yeah.
I don't understand the idea of being good at something that you can't put a framework around.
Well, it's the idea of, it's so automated in some ways that the fact of your sleeping, it is by definition unconscious. So like, how much control do you have over this thing?
But I got the sense that she finished work and was like, you know what? I'll sneak in a quick 45-minute nap.
Yep.
Recharge the batteries, and then I'm out.
Yeah, just dial that into the old computer.
Plug
in.
God. Absolutely the dream.
Because I had a nap before I came today.
Did you?
Yes. So I thought I'd lay down.
You understand what she's saying.
But what happened was, my strategy for napping these days is to lie on the bed like a vampire and sort of on top of the sheets and just sort of cross my arms on my shoulders.
Yeah.
And just sort of close my eyes and just see what happens. And then normally
Okay.
go, but what's bad, and I wonder if this is what Yasmin is beating, is the grogginess coming out of it. That gets me real bad.
That's why I won't nap.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's the grogginess on the other side, but also it takes, for me, if I'm going to be napping, it's a 2-hour process of,
Whoa.
I kind of need to like get onto the bed or into the sheets.
And that's 10 minutes. It's a very long ladder up to my bunk.
Once I've stripped all my skin off, I then get into the sheets. It's like falling asleep. The moment I'm like, you're trying to nap.
Yeah,
I cannot nap.
I think I've been so exhausted with work lately because I've had early starts that it's been very easy that I can just close the eyes and will go away. And then I kind of just wake up a bit and go, oh.
Okay, but your issue is the grogginess on the other side.
Yeah, and so having this to come to was brilliant because I'm like, you have to get up. Whereas the other night I had one, I was like, oh, you're still very tired. And it's like, 8 o'clock or something. And you're like, you should get up and have some dinner, but you're very tired. That's what kills me.
That's the end of the night, isn't it? When a nap extends to the point where it's close enough that you could almost treat that as a bedtime.
That's not close enough for me. What's close enough? What time is close enough for bed?
For bedtime?
Yeah, what
if
are you
I had a
pushing?
nap and then woke up and was like, oh, it's almost bedtime.
Yeah.
9.
9? You reckon you could push 9 to bed? It's an early night.
Yeah, that would be an incredibly early night for me.
I feel like maybe I'd go to 9:30. If I saw 9:30, I'm like, you could just stay here.
Yeah.
But if it was before that, I'm like, nah, get up and do something with your life. You
God.
big lump of shit.
Yeah, honestly, I was about to beat the shit out of myself as well. For that moment where you're on the couch and you're starting to fall asleep and it's late and you go, it's a great time to go to bed. And you kind of like get yourself off the couch, pretend that you're still in like sleep mode.
Man.
Kind of half close your eyes and just walk to bed. And then you get into bed and immediately grab your phone and shake that feeling right off. Get that blue light in your eyes. Boom, I'm back.
You know what would be great?
And I'm on the slots.
was going to say would be a great invention is some sort of device or tool that very subtly brushes your teeth. That you could do that. So when you're groggy and half asleep, it doesn't wake you up, but you can still brush your teeth before bed.
Josh. I like that. So would the arm be built into the bed itself and then kind of like very quietly come up and like prise open your lips?
or just something... Mate, actually, here's what you need, right? Because you got to do a bathroom visit before. So you say you've got up off the couch, you're really groggy, you just want to get straight into bed. That's all you want to do.
Yep.
Is there a way, do we build a new room in the house
Yep.
that's not a bathroom, but it has the facilities of a bathroom, but it's not like tiled floor, it's like moody lighting, maybe it's soft carpet, and it's got facilities so you can go to the toilet. So let's put a soft seat on that as well.
That's not a good blend.
And
toilet and carpet.
But this is the purpose of the room. And then you've got a little sink as well, and there's some device there that you can kind of just, it's really quiet.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a lot. You can kind of, maybe it's a chair you sit on and you just open your mouth and a thing comes out and just like buffs your teeth or something.
I like that idea. It's a confusing room and I'm not sure.
Well, because what do you need to do? What's the stuff that wakes you up the most? That's hell.
Phone usage. But yeah, absolutely. Turning the bathroom light on.
Yes.
That's immediately I'm back to
back to reality. Yeah.
Oh, there goes gravity.
Yeah.
Brushing your teeth, I think I could maybe get away with like a light brush. But do you know what I've been doing is showering with the lights off.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
I think I've done that and it's crazy.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah.
And also because it's warm, if you keep the lights off, you can just slip right into bed and get real sweaty in there.
Candlelight or?
No, nothing.
Just pitch?
Just the peak of the bedroom lamp.
Oh, okay.
Lamp light.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, you say, oops, there goes gravity. I thought that feeling of getting up off the couch and going, like, astronauts must not have that.
Of
Because
getting
the weightlessness, if you're tired, the weightlessness of being tired, go to sleep must be amazing. Because there would be nothing on your body. You'll just be laying there, be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, but also the pressure. I think gravity helps me go to sleep. Like the pressure of
the weighted blanket. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't have a weighted blanket. I've got I said, I've got my concerns about them. But just a regular blanket, the gravity of that puts me to sleep.
That's enough.
But also the feeling of my body pressing against the bed itself. That kind of combination, I think, is what helps me sleep.
Yeah, right.
If I'm in an anti-gravity chamber, I imagine being strapped in would be the thing that
You know what would be hell to sleep in?
What?
An anechoic chamber. Those rooms that have all the spiky stuff on them.
Yeah.
That you can't hear anything.
the
No
sound
sound
dampening.
bounces around. And apparently, like, all you can hear is like things moving inside your body. Like your heart beating and blood moving through your body. I'm like, that would be hell to try and sleep in, wouldn't it?
So right now we can hear those things. It's just that the room is too loud around us. And so you take that away, all of a sudden we can hear our body function.
Yeah, it's the only sound you can hear.
It is pretty crazy because often I will lean onto my partner's stomach and listen to it gurgle. And you're
Love
like,
the gurgle.
You're just gurgling all the time.
Yeah.
It's and sometimes you hear it's like a
mass
it's
gurgle
like,
event.
it's like an eruption, right?
Yeah,
mass
yeah,
gurgle. You get that one, you're like, oh shit, like there goes Etna. There goes the Sicilian town.
All the people cowering in the bowel. No!
Yeah.
Hugging their loved one. Wow, they really loved each other.
Yeah. Oh, she was hugging her child. Are you sure it's just a big lump of white with shoulders?
And they're hugging their lump of molten ash.
Oh God, that's terrifying though. When you see those sooty cutouts,
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, so for them to take that shape, were they standing? They were moving, right? And then they were
Dancing as you just did that. They were moving. Oh no, here it comes. Look out.
But is that what it was? Let's say they're doing the Theresa May walking out.
Yes.
They're kind of living their life. They've got their child, and then they see what coming towards them. Is it lava? Oh no, wait, lava or magma? No, lava.
Oh, I thought, is there a difference
Yes.
between lava and magma?
Yeah,
Great.
one of
Great.
them is one of them oxygenated.
Mate, this is
or...
clippable. Start again.
Shit, but I have to have an answer. You can't just be me fluffing it out.
I think they're seeing because doesn't like a big cloudy ash ball precede it.
But
right?
that's what gets them.
I
That's
think
what
that
locks
gets them, and
into
then
that.
maybe you've breathed that in. You're like, passed out.
Yep.
Maybe.
Okay.
But how are you knowing to hug your child in that moment?
Oh, protecting your child.
That's true. Human instinct.
So it must be a pretty slow-moving cloud if you're like, quickly, get here.
One last time. Yeah, I don't know. You see it, and I wonder how. I guess it happens super quick.
Yeah, there's no way that they're staying for the cloud.
I think this will blow through. Yeah, no, that's all right. Come here.
Wowee. Anyway, napping for me. I try not to touch it unless it's organically something that I settle in.
What's your favorite place to nap?
Got to be the couch.
Couch.
Well, I can't
And are
think
you
of
going-
any. I can't really think of any others apart from the bed, which is.
Are you going across the couch or sitting in the couch? Like, are you put your
Oh.
feet up and lying across it?
I think I'm lying when I'm committing to it. I kind of just like let myself. Oh, this is I will lie sideways with a couple of pillows under me, and I'll be watching television.
Yeah.
Because I'm tricking myself into being like, you're still watching TV.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
isn't a nap. You're
Hey,
just
brain.
getting really comfy, and then brain will do its thing.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I think on the couch I have to lie out, but often just feet up but straight. So I don't like the side. I'd rather go straight. But honestly, on top of the bed is great for me because I can do that like straight after I get home from work.
What is it about the arms though? Like you said, you're in vampire position.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's to do with maybe it's like the blanket thing we're talking about. It's having something on top of me maybe.
Yeah.
But it feels like low commitment. I don't know what it is, but it feels very comfortable.
Low commitment.
I don't know.
You want to commit less to your arms.
I don't know what that means. Maybe it's like it's a conscious effort to be like, you're putting your body in a comfortable position
Of
like, this is a mode that my body's getting into.
It's like if I try, because I've been trying not to sleep on my stomach to help out with, amazing. For people who still sleep on their stomach, you got to try not to do it. I know that it
Really?
feels fantastic.
No, because Eve, my partner, sent me an infographic that was about all the reasons that having pillows is bad for you. And like, here's a dozen ways you would normally sleep. And I was like, oh, those are the ways I've fallen asleep on picnic blankets.
What, on your belly?
And putting your arm up and laying on your arm on your side. All those.
Perhaps it is because of pillows.
Yeah. Big pillow. They got us. They got us.
Yeah. What was my point? I've forgotten why I raised that.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Do you remember what I was saying?
You were saying about people who sleep on their stomach, even though it feels good, it's bad for you.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic callback.
Let's clip this guy.
Yeah.
Do the setup.
Yeah. I've lost it again. I've lost it again. People who don't... But I can't understand what the point I was making was. I understand I'm telling people not to sleep on their stomach. But I've been sleeping on my back. I've been sleeping on my back more.
Okay.
Anyway, I've been sleeping on my back more. And I'm sleeping on my carry.
Okay, good.
Is it Carrie Backmore? No, Carrie. What's
Carrie
her?
Backmore.
What's her name?
Carrie Bigmore.
Anyway, I've been sleeping on my back, and what I found is that unless I tilt my head slightly to the right, I won't fall asleep. If I'm like keeping my head completely straight, it's like I'm using the muscles to keep it that way. Like you were saying, you put your arms there because it forces them to relax.
Yeah, maybe that's
you don't have to hold them up in any way.
Yeah.
Whereas with my neck, I let it just like.
Do you reckon, like, I don't think about it this much. We're just talking about it on the podcast. But, like, do you reckon there's some people who just do not have a second thought to this and they just go to sleep all the time? Are they the happy ones?
Wow. People who just get to sleep. They don't think
about that much. It's like, yeah, jump into bed, whatever.
I wonder, I mean, those people would exist. They'd get into bed and then they just close their eyes and...
You know what
off to sleep.
I had recently, you know how normally like I couldn't sleep or I couldn't get to sleep, whatever. I've had recently some nights where that to me is normally like everything's off. I'm laying there and my brain won't switch off and I just can't actually fall asleep. I'm thinking about stuff, whatever. But I've had some recently where it's like the new version of I can't get to sleep where I'm actively choosing to like stay on my phone. And it's like, you should go to sleep. But that in my brain now, that is me not being able to fall asleep because I have a desire to stay on my phone.
Ah.
Is that like the 2024 version of it, or am I just an idiot?
But no, I think
you know
it might be the latter in the most polite way possible.
Yeah.
Because if you're engaged with a device still, you're not even trying to get to sleep.
Oh, I kind of am though, because sometimes I fall asleep with it in my hand. Mission accomplished.
Really, with it in your hand?
Yeah, normally watching like a Indian head massage video or something.
Oh, yeah. I get that. Sorry. Yeah, I do that with the laptop on my belly.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Laptop on your belly bed.
You just said that you fall asleep with your phone in your hand.
Yeah. It's phone. It's tiny, small.
Laptop belly, bigger screen.
Laptop belly.
More hair. More Indians on the screen.
Per square inch.
That sends me right off. We've spoken about ASMR enough on this show now, I reckon.
We'll move on.
Yeah. So I was recently interacting with a friend and we send a lot of voice notes back and forth. And I had sent him like an 8-minute voice note.
8 minute?
Yeah, real long boy, just like what's happening in your life, updates kind of thing. About 5 minutes later, he gives me a call and I pick up and I said to him, first thing I said to him was, have you listened to the voice note yet?
The first thing you said was, it's only been 5 minutes. I left an 8-minute voice note.
but when I can't have that conversation. I can't send an 8-minute voice note, then someone calls me back and I say, great, I'm going to cover the same ground that I covered in the voice note.
They should have 100% listened to it before they call you.
Right? That's the protocol.
If that's sitting out there and that's dangling out there, that is required listening. That is
Pre-phone call.
Yeah, that is like some premiere HBO TV. It is required listening.
Yes.
You must.
Before you start this degree, you must read these books.
Yes, exactly.
They are the books. They were not read, but then he wanted to engage with the discussions on the call.
How much are you charging for your voice notes? $120? It's good money. You can just get a PDF offline.
If you drop out of the course after 3 weeks,
Yeah.
you can send the money
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
I think they 100% should have listened to that, and they can't shortcut that by calling you.
Well, so he tried to, and what should I do in that position? Because I was caught out. I didn't want to say. I did say, but I didn't want to say. I don't want to talk about
I capitulated very quick.
Yeah, but it was more
I didn't
like,
stand up for myself.
I said to him, I'm going to give you different chat right now. I'm going to give you B grade chat about something else.
Good,
because
good.
I've given you plenty of juice in my 8-minute boy, and
But-
I don't want to cover that again.
But isn't the purpose, like you're saying right now, that's what you wanted to talk about. So it should have been like, here's an info dump. Then when you get back to me the next time we chat, or you send me the voicemail return, that's what we're chatting about.
Yeah.
But now they've short-circuited that.
They have.
So
I
I
have to talk to them live.
yeah, I'm trying to think of. I think you did the right. I think that's good to play hardball on that. Like,
Yeah.
don't let them get away with it.
Yeah.
But in the future, I think it would be nicer just to chat about the things. But you've invested all that time.
No,
I just don't. What was their reason? Like, I don't have time to listen to that. I thought I'd just call you. Was that the kind of?
Yeah, I think it was more like, oh, I saw that you sent something, so you must be online. I'll just give you a call, which that's lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
But listen to the voice note.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
I'm not up for a live chat if I'm sending the voice note.
You also don't know what was in it.
Yeah.
Unless they started and like, oh, it's just chat. I'll just give them a buzz.
But also, are you a voice noter? Like, what's this is I think that there's probably an early patch where we discussed voice notes, and I was vehemently against them.
Oh,
And now I am not, I wouldn't say pro, but it happens a lot in my life.
yeah, right. I really don't use them. I think it's like I'm not in the mode of using them. Like I don't really call my friends much either. I'd rather just hang out with people. But I think I see their utility, and I think it's good because you can just get a bit of a dump off without the wording matters less. It's a bit more casual.
It's a
kind of
monologue.
nice. Yeah, yeah. A lot
You
of
kind
stream of
fumble-
consciousness.
Yeah, huge stream of consciousness, and you just kind of. The problem I think with a voice note is that you have to, when listening back to theirs, keep a mental note of every point they've touched on.
Yeah.
To then respond to in the next voice note. Otherwise,
That's true.
Premiere stuff gets.
What
falls off the
what
cliff.
about this for a policy? As you're going, every time you ask a question, you end the voice note and you start a new one.
Oh, multi voice notes.
So
you
you'll have like
little
seven. Yeah, you'd have 7 or 8 single-minute ones.
So it's like this. It's like if we were to put
It's
like
clippable.
a sting
We're
in
clipping.
between, we're clipping our
Yeah.
voice notes. Oh my god!
We're cutting everything down to 59 seconds, even voice notes to your friends. Trim it down. I don't have.
But that's a
8
good
minutes,
idea.
mate.
That I actually think that's a good idea.
Because to round out the point, and then they know, oh, I can. Because I do that when I send messages. That's how I do my messages.
Yeah.
So I kind of finish a point, start a new message, so then people can actually reply in line to each one.
Yes.
And the thing I like, that's what I like about messaging.
Self-contained voice notes, but you can't let a point linger between each one. There can't be a thread. It has to be like
Oh, there
that
could be a
thought-
thread, but I think
that
if there's a
thought's finished,
question,
because you want to be able to reply to a single
Yeah.
voice note at that.
yes,
rate.
yes. But then what you need is to like title them in some way, so you can visually track which one's which.
Yeah. Do they have that function? Can you title a voice note right now?
You'd probably just punch in a bit of text after. Then you're really breaking up. Then why are we doing voice notes at that point?
That's true.
AI
That's a lot of
transcripts.
effort.
Let's go to
because
that.
no one wants to talk to another person live.
Because the thing, what I like about text messaging is, and I experienced this recently, that I'd been moving stuff all day, whatever it was, really, really exhausted. And it was great because then someone had some good news.
Yeah.
And I could very, very easily feign excitement in my text message. If I was there in person or talking to them, I was exhausted.
Wow.
I couldn't have got up for it.
That's cooked, by the way.
No, because it's like
No.
that's how I would have reacted if I was feeling better.
I know, but that's the thing. Now that we dialogue through WhatsApp and voice
Yeah.
note, nothing's real. No reaction is
No,
real.
but it was-
every comment, every joke needs to get a laugh emoji. Otherwise, it's complete and utter devastating failure.
That's true.
So what did you say? You were like,
It was like, oh my God, that sounds
so good.
amazing. Yeah, something like that, whatever it is.
oh my god, you
I don't
praised
know.
a deity.
Well, I just got real religious. No, it's along those lines of excitement. But if it was, I was like, the way I was feeling was like, oh, that's great. That's like just exhausted from the day. Nothing to do with
Yeah.
their success or whatever was going on there. Just me personally very, very tired.
So if you had messaged back, nice one, man, or nice one,
Ugh, that's not enough.
but that's the energy that you had at the time. That is the appropriate response.
But that's the beauty of the text. I can camouflage that and hide that.
And we do that so the other person feels like inflated.
But people do that in their real life. If you go to an event and you're not really up for it, you put on a brave face.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. We have to go.
Absolutely.
We'll just go for an hour.
Yeah. But you've got to put a brave face on. You've got to have a good time.
Yeah.
Do you think that if you go into an event thinking I have to have a good time for the sake of the host, I need to be on here, that you can convince yourself to be on to the point that you're like, actually, it was pretty good?
I'd say most times I will pull through completely fine.
Yeah.
I think it's rare that I would be in such a dirty mood that I wouldn't enjoy myself. And I don't know if it's about tricking yourself. I think it's because history has taught me. It's like, you will be fine. You'll see some people. You have a conversation. I think the time it's hardest is if you're going to something where you don't really know it. You don't have any close friends there.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to have to do some...
Fight or flight at that
Yeah.
point.
And you're like, I know I'll be chatting to all these new people who I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. What do I want to talk about? I don't really want to talk about anything in my life right now. I would just love to know. Like, that's, I think, when it's difficult.
How do you go? Are you better now at starting a conversation with someone? Like, there's common ground there. You're at the same event. So are you better now as an adult at starting that conversation with a random person being like,
It's if I'm up
hey,
for it. Yeah. I think if I'm in a good mood, I'm happy to drive it and push it through. And yeah, you just want to have gags with someone really about some stuff that's coming up. Or, you know what's it's always just work.
Yeah.
Even for work, and because I've been working for the Victorian Electoral Commission lately, it's so easy. Got so much content about work and elections and stuff to chat about.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
So we recently went over to your place for a friend's birthday, and there were some gate crashes there that night.
Oh, that's right.
You
Yeah.
remember those?
Yeah.
And one of them, I mean, again, never met this person before, but they were gate crashing. So I was like, you know what?
And they were let's be clear, they were accepted him. Like, yeah, come on. They live nearby. It's like, yeah, we love that stuff. Come on in. Come on in.
Yep, come on in. And I said to one of them, I was like, so what do you do for work? And she was like, oh my God, that is such a boring question.
No.
And I was like, great.
Could I be you?
Yeah.
So what do you do for work?
That is such a boring question.
All right, go for it.
But that's
Just put it back on them.
yeah. But
What did she come back with after that? What was her choice of conversation?
She was just super sarcastic the entire night.
Great.
Just and it's like, come on.
It's like, I'm trying. I'm
is
trying.
This is just the starter, right?
Yes.
It's whatever happens from here doesn't matter. But we need. I could say, how green are trees? That should
her
be
mind
the
is better.
kernel. But
Yes.
the problem is that it doesn't matter what the kernel is. It's what happens afterwards.
I agree, because something she might say might, oh yeah, well, I went to this thing last week that's related to that. I had so much fun over there. Da 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 da. It's you're just trying to get that ball rolling.
Yes.
And once that rolling ball gathers moss and starts rolling down that
Absolutely.
hill.
Bob Dylan.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the Rolling Stones.
I think if you're not going to offer anything, I think fundamentally to come back with someone who's trying to make conversation with that is disgusting.
It's yeah, I agree. She has so much shame around being vulnerable that anything that might be considered uncool, like discussing work.
Well, it could be that, like, and I'm speaking for myself, like I've had a lot of my work has been all over the shop with a lot of casual work, and often it wasn't a fun topic for me to discuss because I didn't really feel I had anything of value or worth to chat about. So maybe she's coming back. So that's
shame.
But maybe she's ashamed of her work. Yeah.
And I realized afterwards she was 26, and I was like, okay,
that's a fun age to be shameful.
but I feel like that is probably something that I may have. Also, I would have had maybe a similar reaction
when you were 26
to be like, hey, let's just cut to the real shit here.
Yeah, right.
And it's like,
right.
nah, you can get there. Like we're all just trying. We don't know each other.
She might be. I work in some random office. It's very dull.
She was a designer.
Find it boring. That sounds really interesting. Talk about that.
She had heaps to talk about.
God.
You loser.
Okay, you big losers. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Welcome to Patchwork. We're across all the socials if you want to see some cut down clips that I will not produce, but I'll say they're going to be there. We also got a Patreon if you want to support the show, help cover the costs, that kind of stuff. Anything else, Christian? Any other notes?
No, it's good to be back.
It's great
I'll
to be
see you
back.
again in a couple of months.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for listening.
Oh, Dion's back soon,
Soon,
I think.
but we don't know. He may be, maybe not.
Surely.
I don't know what I always forget. Thanks very much. There's another one Patchwork for another week.
I've been
No, that's
Dion.
afterwards. As we do every week, it's time to sow a new patch into our cult of friendship. Christian, what patch did you sow this week?
Thank you, Josh. This week I sewed into my patch an automated toothbrush that misses your teeth and brushes your eyebrows as you sleep. And Josh, what
Thank
did
you,
you
Christian? My
tooth
patch.
into your patch?
My patch is me at the premiere of the new Muppets movie, Muppets Napping in Space.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, all right. That's what happens when you don't prepare them. Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for listening to another Patrick another week. I've been Josh.
I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.